I think you said the other day, right? And you gave some really great, I guess, feedback in terms of what made it such a great panel for you as men. So I guess I wanted to get a little bit of that perspective, so that if there are women listening to this particular, conversation we're having, I want to kind of give them a little bit of a preview, or at least something to work with in a working model as to why men felt comfortable at that point. I think it was Crystal's live that you guys were on. You were saying, right? What was happening on that live that made it comfortable for you to be able to express fully your particular thoughts as a man? So I'll let Sean go first again.
Sure. So definitely, I think the thing was is that Crystal allowed us to speak and say our opinion, right? So she presented us with a question, and then she got an answer from us, and we were able to fully flesh it out and explain exactly what we were thinking and our thought process. And what happens in other spaces is you may be speaking or trying to give your perspective, but you'll a one word will set off a chain reaction, right? And now the women are potentially triggered at something that you've said, and now your thought process is cut off, and now you're going back to try to explain what has caused a little bit of controversy. So I think that was the difference. Is she asked questions, allowed us to answer, and then, like, if there was any follow-up that was needed once we finished talking, she would come back to it and say, well, can you explain to me what that means, right? No assumptions, no blaming, no judgment. Just tell me what that means. Or if we're talking about being a provider, tell me what that looks like to you, right? If we're talking about submission, what does submission look like to you? What do you think it is? Versus jumping all over us and telling us we're something or assigning a label to us. So I think that just made, her panel, just a wonderful discussion that we were able to have.
I'm hearing that. Okay, so you're saying that she created a space where she was trying to understand where you were coming from. Okay, I'm hearing that. Only for you, you were on that panel as well. What made it a comfortable space? If it was a comfortable space, because I'm assuming it was, because I know Corey and Sean already said, but what was that like for you on that panel then?
I mean, to echo what Sean had to say, she actually listened to us, but at the same time, is she didn't allow put other people's words into your mouth. So the key thing we're saying is like Kelsey Samuels, like if we say something that kind of resembles what Kevin Samuels has to say, we're pretty much put in that camp, and now we have to defend that position. Whereas with Crystal, she kind of actually had words for us to define what that meant to us, and then used those to get a better understanding. And I think what was happening now is it's like there's maybe one or only several ways of thought, and it's like you're trying to classify somebody to have the thought then versus just listening to that person has to say, and then using that words to get a better understanding. So the talk space, like it was a comfortable talk space where we're able to actually explain what we're thinking, what we're going through, and then actually see how the other sex or how other people who may not have an opinion respond to that versus just using what somebody had to say 3 4 months ago 1 year ago and try to peg every single guy into that thought process, because to me that's an immature way of having these type of conversations and thought.
I love that. I love that. So, she created that space of understanding for you guys. Like you said, she wasn't presumptuous. She was hearing you, listening to you, getting you guys to explain in full thought what you guys were thinking. Okay, I'm hearing this. I'm liking where this is going. This is good. Corey, you were also on that particular live. Let us know your thoughts as well.
Yeah, just to echo the same thing what Sean was saying, Onu was saying, to add something to it is the dynamic to see a group of men that are like-minded, but at the same time they have their own separate ways of getting to that end destination. I think I like the fact that everyone had something to say, and it gave women a viewpoint of different perspectives. Everyone wasn't necessarily agreeing 100%. There were some small little changes here and there, but they were healthy changes. They were healthy directions, different directions that the woman can take with a man. And so to me, I think that part of it is something I would add along with what Sean and what Onu was saying.